I've always been fascinated by Japanese habits and philosophies for basically daily living. And now I'm retired and I'm in my late 50s. I'm wondering, can they offer me something to kind of structure my life or give my life a daily rhythm that just makes life more bearable and enjoyable generally? So why don't we dive into 10 key Japanese habits and see how they can apply post early retirement and late 50s. Let's check it out. So habit number 1, Ikigai, your reason to wake up. It's your reason for living. What's your purpose? I've always talked about it's important to have a purpose in life. This is a very famous Japanese concept that basically means, as I said, a reason to live or a reason to wake up. It's the intersection of 4 things. This is a very simplistic view of it, but this is what it is. It's what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, ideally. I mean, in an ideal world, your job, when you set off in life on your career, should be your Ikigai, but it very rarely is. But now, maybe you're retired and you're looking for a purpose and meaning. Now is the opportunity to really define your Ikigai. So you can see the problem. For a lot of us, what you can be paid for part was our entire identity for 30 years. And when you retire, that piece of the puzzle is suddenly gone. So for us, if you're early retired or as you're sort of thinking about retirement, Ikigai needs a rebrand. It's about finding a purpose that isn't tied to a paycheck. It's the why you get out of bed without an alarm clock. For me, I've realized now making these videos is kind of my Ikigai, my purpose in life. And this is what I enjoy doing. For others, it might be volunteering and stuff like that. But for me, this channel is a very huge part of my new Ikigai. But it can also be the simple satisfaction of figuring out how to finally grow tomatoes or something like that. It doesn't have to be changing the world or anything like that. It's just about finding what enriches your world and focusing on that. You know, now you don't have to kind of work for a paymaster. Find out what your world is, what you want in life. Number 2, and this kind of can feed into your health, as it were, as you get older. It's Hara Hachi Bu, which is the Okinawan practice of eating only until you're 80% full. I mean, in the West, certainly growing up, certainly Gen X, I always felt, you know, we were told we have to finish the plate, you know, clear the plate. When I was a kid, my mum used to say, you're not leaving the table until it's all gone. And there's kind of, that's quite a bad habit. So this kind of Japanese principle of just eating until you're 80% full, well, that's something we can definitely learn from in life, and definitely learn from in life come post 50, where, I don't know, everything about your health seems to be a challenge sometimes. I mean, this isn't about like a strict diet or anything like that, or a restrictive diet. I mean, I'm not giving up on my favourite foods, especially when I'm in Japan. Oh my gosh. As long as you can live healthily, but you can also live very unhealthily if you really want to. Oh, some of the sweets and puddings they have here are ridiculous. As with many Japanese approaches, it's just about a bit of mindfulness and finding joy and not rushing you to clear your plate. You know, there's some people I know, some English people especially, you know, we Brits, I'd love to, you know, finish your plate. My son, you know, I put a plate in front of him and then go and get my plate. I turn around and his plate's completely empty. It's just about eating a little slower, putting the fork down and asking, you know, am I satisfied? Instead of, oh, am I stuffed? It's the difference between, oh, that was delicious, oishi, or I think I need to lie down for an hour. You know, and we've all had that feeling. Basically, we're aiming for, that was delicious. What an experience. That was an experience. I've just had an amazing meal at a Starbucks roastery, one of the best Starbucks in the world here. And it was just, oh, the coffee, oh, amazing. Number 3 is moai, right? This is another Okinawan concept. And it's basically a sort of social support group, a group of lifelong friends that you go through life with. I don't really have many of those, although I met up with some old acquaintances when I hit 50 that I used to know at primary school and stuff like that. But I've never had those kind of long, deep relationships. But it is critical when you retire, especially when you leave the workplace, if most of your social circle were people you knew, you know, at work. Because when you leave your full-time job, you often leave that built-in social network. You lose the casual kind of water cooler chat, or if you're in the UK, kind of, who wants a cup of tea? Chats. And Moai isn't about having 500 friends on Facebook, yeah. It's just 3 or 4 people, a little small group of people, ones you can have real conversation with. The one who get this stage of life are in a similar position to you. So they might not be working, you know, they may be early retired as well. So you might have to find a new social circle of friends and make the effort to kind of make new ones, as it were, or at least value those core friends in your existing group. In this new adventure of early retirement and all of that, your moai is your crew, your gang, and you've got to nurture it for the best. Number 4 is eat the rainbow. And no, this is not about eating Skittles. This one is easy to remember, and it's actually kind of fun, really. It just means eating a wide variety of colourful fruits and vegetables. Again, something that historically I've been a bit rubbish at. But, you know, I've discovered, actually, the real simple thing of just a simple salad. Like here, they serve salad with like everything, but not an overcomplicated salad. It's basically just lettuce with a beautiful salad dressing. That's it. And actually, it's really tasty. And I always kind of bit about salads, but yeah, if you keep it really simple, really fresh, it's amazing. It's eye-opening. The different colours on your plate are a sign of different nutrients. The more colours you have, the wider the range of the good stuff you're getting. And as I said, in your 50s, your health begins to deteriorate at a greater rate and stuff like that. It's really important to stay healthy. One of the perks of having more time is that I can be more creative with this. I'm not saying I've suddenly become a great chef or anything like that. But yeah, my plate definitely used to be 50 shades of beige, ask anyone. But now I actively look at it and think, okay, I've got my red, I've got my white, where's the green? Definitely where's the green? Maybe where's the purple if I'm feeling adventurous? It just makes cooking a bit more of a creative challenge and a bit more fun. And again, you're being in the moment of preparing your food. Habit number 5 is an active lifestyle. This is not just about exercise. I talk about exercise a lot. But if you notice the word a lifestyle, yeah, not, as I said, not exercise routine. Many older Okinawans, it's them again, they walk, they bike, they garden. They're just moving. I've done about 80,000 steps in the last 5 days since I've been here in Tokyo and Japan. Just walking everywhere. You do a lot of walking. But whatever it is, you just sort of just keep moving. And for some, you know, maybe drive everywhere and all of that, this could be a huge mental shift. You know, for decades, exercise was something we had to schedule in, you know. Oh yeah, I'm going down to the gym for 30 minutes or whatever. It was a chore to cram in before or after work and stuff like that. But since I've been early retired, I make the effort now to go for a daily walk, you know, around in the village where I live. This is not the village I live, this is suburbs of Tokyo. And as I said, since I've been here, I've done so much walking just as part of every day. You know, as I said, and if you're into gardening, that can be strenuous, can be good exercise. But if you enjoy it, again, active lifestyle, or playing with grandkids, or whatever it is. As I say, whether I'm just going for a walk or doing one of these walk and talk videos, active lifestyle, just do something, just rather just sit in your armchair all day. But find something you enjoy. Habit 6 and 7, connection to nature and shinrin-yoku, okay? I'm lumping these together here, because they're sort of related, and it's connection to nature. And shinrin-yoku, which literally means forest bathing. I'm in this sort of ravine. As I said, it's hard to believe I'm in the middle of Tokyo here. Not right in the middle, but on the, you know, the suburbs of Tokyo. But there's this sort of ravine here. And that's the thing, this isn't all about like climbing mountains, you know, unless of course you want to, you have that opportunity. It's about being mindful in nature. When you go for those walks, when I go for a walk, as I said, I'm not always filming. I often just go for a walk. And as I said, no headphones, just listen to the birds and the sounds. I know it all sounds a bit woo-woo and all that, hugging a tree, etc. But actually, there's science behind it. It has been shown to lower stress. And let's be honest, even in retirement, we can find new and exciting things to get stressed about. I try to de-stress my life, but, you know, whether it's money worries or whatever it is, or health worries, we'll find things. If you're a stressor, you'll find things to stress about. Forest bathing, going for a walk in woodlands or your local park. If you live in a city, you'll have a local park. And just being mindful and enjoying the sounds of it, you know, it all helps. Number 8, Wabi-Sabi. Embrace imperfection. Now, this might be one of my favorite ones. Wabi-Sabi. It's basically the art of finding beauty in imperfection and impermanence. I mean, if that doesn't sum up life post 50, I don't know what does. I mean, how perfect for this stage of life. We spend our 20s, our 30s, our 40s striving for perfection, whether it's in, relationships, career, whatever it is. The perfect career, the perfect house, the perfect look. Wabi-Sabi is the universe finally giving you permission to go, chill out, man. It doesn't really matter. Those laugh lines, those wrinkles, you've earned them. That crack in your favorite coffee mug, it tells a life story. That hobby you're not a master at yet, like me being able to speak Japanese, who cares? It's just fun. I try and keep fit, not only to stay healthy, but to look good. But can I get rid of my belly, my pot belly? On your Nelly. I can't. I tell you what, it's difficult, but embrace it, as my girlfriend has to. Wabi-Sabi is about embracing the beauty of a life that's been lived. Once you do that, accept your imperfections, I tell you what, it's a huge relief. Habit number 9, Garmin, the quiet inner strength. This basically means enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity. It's about resilience. On this channel, I sort of talk about being positive and sort of this positive adventure of aging and all of that. But I'm also a realist. This stage of life isn't all sunshine. You're going to have health problems, however healthy you are. I've come out here in Japan, and I tell you what, the jet lag hit me for the first time ever in my life really badly. And it's a sign of aging. You think you're young at heart, and you are young at heart, but your body's going, no, you're not. We deal with new aches and pains. We have to navigate new family dynamics. We might lose people. And Gammon is that quiet, strong inner grit that we've all spent the last 50 years sort of building. Garmin is what gets you through a 3-hour wait at the doctor's office if you're on the NHS without blowing a gasket. It's what stops you from replying all to a truly dumb email. It's about impatience. It's about perspective. It's knowing that this too shall pass. And it's really helpful as you age and get frustrated and annoyed with people in life. We've all got Garmin in spades. And number 10, my favorite, one of my favorites, Kaizen. I've actually written a little book introducing the principles of Kaizen. If you're interested, see it in the YouTube description. But this is all about taking small steps. The 1,000-mile journey starts with the very first step. I mean, it's true. I remember taking my kids when they were really, really young up a difficult path, a difficult route up Mount Snowdon, as it was called then. And yeah, after about 5 minutes, they were moaning and whining, and I kind of thought, this is going to be a long, long day. So I just broke it down into sort of that next rock over there, that sort of next creek over there. And, before you knew it, several hours later, we reached the summit, and we had to walk down the long route as well, but they loved it in the end. But yeah, it's about breaking down tasks into small little steps, and it just makes it much more consumable. If you're just having to take little bites of something rather than think, oh my God, when am I ever going to finish this big project or whatever it is? Break it down into little steps and focus on each little step. And before you know it, you're at the top of the mountain. So there you go, 10 life habits that we can learn from the Japanese. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you aware of any of these? Have you applied them to your life? What do you think? Are they useful tools for navigating life post 50 and retirement and stuff like that as we get older? Put it in your comments down below. And of course, if you like this video, then please hit the likes, because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, then please, arigato gozaimashita, hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with videos just like this. Talking videos just like this, why don't you check out the videos right here? These ones over here, probably next to Tokyo Tower. Can you see? These ones here. Thanks for watching.